taking a look at a book. Well, sort of, we're taking a look at a movie's version of a book, and that's Matilda. I already tell the movie is fiction because she was born in a hospital. Everyone knows babies are delivered by the storks, duh! Newborn Matilda is taken home to a new family. Who decided to let my uncle drive? Well, it turns out Matilda's parents are... what's the word? I think I need to have a friend answer this for me. Half-wit, mindless, simpleton. Half-wit, mindless. Matilda's parents kinda suck. They leave her alone while the dad is at work. The mother goes to play bingo, and the brother goes to school, obviously, because he's a kid. And Matilda, luckily, she's extremely intelligent. It's one of those movies where the kid is extremely intelligent and they know how to take care of themselves. Matilda is cooking for herself like she usually does. Well, pick me up. Those pancakes are impressive. I've always found strange about this film is, like I said, the parents are always trying to make quick bucks and be slimy, schemy people, but they never think to use Matilda to their advantage in gaining money because they notice how smart... I mean, like I said, they don't pay attention to it and they are horrible parents, but you would think they would at least notice once and think about using her to their advantage to gain money since they're such slimy people. I'm just saying, that's something. Matilda's search for knowledge grows as she discovers the library. So while her dad is out selling illegal car parts and the mother is out playing bingo, she walks to a trip to a library. And keep in mind, she's 4. I'm about to talk really fast here, sort of try to go over a few things because I don't have much to say. And I kind of want to go over this because because I want to get to a certain part in the film, and I don't want to spend too much time giving introduction. Okay, so Matilda brings home her library book. The dad hates the book, so he tears it up. A few days later, apparently, the dad sold more crappy illegal park cars with jacked up prices that are illegal. So he asked his son, figure up the money and figure up how much illegal money he made. So Matilda figures it up before the son can, and the dad automatically assumes she's cheating. And then the dad says,
when a person is bad, that person has to be taught a lesson.
Matilda finally gets the idea to strike back against her parents by pulling a parlor trick by getting her dad's hat stuck on her head by using bleach. And then they go to a fancy restaurant, and then we get a slapstick scene. While there are some funny moments in the scene, I personally believe it could have been cut. It just goes on for too long for my taste. The bleach thing gets said, Matilda's dad is furious and starts ordering everyone to watch the television. Now, Matilda, being a bookworm, doesn't like that.
Look at the TV!
Oh my god, Matilda is from The Shining! Hold on, we gotta have to talk about this. So you may be confused going, what the frick just happened? Now, I've read both the book and the film, and yes, we will get more comparative with the book and the film later on in the next few scenes, but we don't have much to compare the book and film to right now, except for this moment. Now, I'm gonna make it clear. I prefer the book's version of the explanation of where she got the magical abilities that she used to blow up the TV. Yes, she has magical powers now. In the book, they explain it more clearly that the reason why she has magical power is that her parents have been so abusive and the knowledge in her brain is getting so huge that she can, like, physically manipulate. In the film, it's just like, it's magic. We don't have to explain it. Clear, I'm not saying the film didn't offer an explanation at all. I'm just saying the book explanation is more clear. Matilda's dad sells a car to a scummy headmaster, and then Matilda starts going to the school where the headmaster is at. Now, before we move on, I have a question. Or I don't know if it's a headmaster, but they refer to that. Anyway, I guess, I don't know what she really is. I guess a principal would be my equivalent. But what does the term even headmaster imply? This is a genuine question. They're the master of heads? I mean, you're a master, but what does the head part of the sentence mean? If you use the basic term principal, that implies principals. But I don't understand the head part of the sentence. I'm confused. I really don't get the head part of the sentence. Maybe someone could explain it, but that's just a genuine confusion. The headmaster makes her booming and evil appearance, showing that she is clearly an evil force and a threat to be reckoned with. Matilda, being understandably frightened by the principal with a metal rod threatening to beat up children, runs off to a small part of the playground that no one can see and meets her new friend Lavender, and then we meet this new girl named Hortensia, which provides exposition on how bad the Trunchbull is, which is the name for the principal. So I'm going to be referring to the evil principal as the Trunchbull for now. Hortensia tells a story about how bad the Trunchbull can be, and this kid is eating 2 M&Ms in the store, and then the Trunchbull does this. The one bites the dust. Seriousness, that kid just got thrown out the window by the principal. How come he didn't say anything to his parents? I'm sure he must have had enough damage from falling out the window to show evidence, and there were plenty of kids to see that, so that's definitely enough evidence. But I know that's just a nitpick. Anyway, let's move on. We meet Matilda's teacher, Miss Horny. Oops, I think I read that wrong. It turns out that Matilda's teacher name is Miss Honey, and she's really sweet. Sweet as honey. You get it? Sweet as honey? Do I need to keep explaining the joke? Am I running this gag into the ground? Should I stop right now? Are you saying yes? Well, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna stand here in silence until you subscribe. Class is going over their multiplication tables, and just as a joke, she says, solve this really big problem that only a college level person could solve, and then Matilda pops up with the answer. Now she is really shocked, and Jasmine says this. Our dog died. Samantha actually cooked something that's good. Hey everyone, wow is now a meme for this channel. Seriously, why haven't people used that as a meme template? All you gotta do is say something and then play that clip and it makes for a perfect meme. Matilda is on her way home from school and she bumps into 2 detectives that are spying on her dad for selling illegal car parts. Very obviously, I might add. But to me, they look like the gang members of the Big Toe from Courage the Cowardly Dog. The Big Toe, see, if you don't cop up what you know, you're gonna go capiche, see. I'm going to be skipping a bit of a plot point. So anyway, we cut back to the school. The Trunchbull calls all the kids to the assembly because she believed one fat kid named Bruce Bogtrotter ate her cake, even though he completely denied it, and now is going to force him to eat a huge giant cake. Bruce is lame, unlike me. You just revealed your secret identity. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. I am the Knight. That doesn't make any sense at all. Your mom doesn't make any sense. The problem I have with the film, they constantly do zoom-in type editing, and it gets really annoying, like over the top amounts. The zoom-ins and just the editing, that's one of the problems with this film, and yes, I will get more into the problems later on when a certain scene comes up that I want to talk about in particular when we compare the book and the film. But the editing in this film could definitely use some more. So we come to the newt and the glassing. In order to spite back the Trunchbull, Lavender, Matilda's friend, puts a newt in the Trunchbull's glass. Now, here we get between the main difference between book Matilda and movie Matilda. So let's explain. In the film, Matilda is a lot more argumentative and more headbuttable and more impulsive, while in the book she's more strategic, and this is emphasized in the newt scene when she purposely corrects the Trunchbull, even though that did not happen in the book. And in the movie version, the Trunchbull is hopping up and down like a madman, screaming because of the newt, and Matilda decides to correct her, even though everyone knows that's a dumb idea, and it makes movie Matilda come off as a snarky showboat, where in the book that did not happen, which therefore damages Matilda's character by making her kind of seem like a snarky showboat and very impulsive. I'll take obvious plot twist for 300, Bob. Miss Honey decides to take Matilda to her small house, which is a cottage because she is very poor. Now, Matilda being amazed, we discover that the Trunchbull is Miss Honey's aunt. Yes, you heard that right. That's a plot twist that I was talking about, and my plot twist worth 300 points, Joe. And apparently she broke Miss Honey's arm and murdered her father. Now, she also took a bunch of Miss Honey's old child stuff and destroyed it, and then they had this whole thing about chocolate and her doll, which Miss Honey really wanted back because she missed those sentimental items because they were given to her by her dead father, which the Trunchbull murdered. So Matilda decides to run inside the Trunchbull's house, which is right next to Miss Honey's cottage, and so Matilda manages to be stealthy enough so the Trunchbull doesn't see her, but the Trunchbull can still hear someone rustling around in her, so she is furious.
Come on, fight like a man!
Come down here and fight like a man!
I don't suppose I could convince you to come up here and fight like a spider.
Matilda and Miss Honey manage to escape the Trunchbull's home, but they don't manage to get any of Miss Honey's items back. Bumps into those detectives again, you know, the ones that I said that look like the big toe gang. Anyway, she gets home and tries to use her powers, and then she gets better at them, so she decides to go back to the Trunchbull's house by herself just to use her powers to screw with the Trunchbull. Matilda gets to the Trunchbull and starts screwing around with the Trunchbull by making stuff float and move by using her power, and then starts using the painting of Miss Honey's dad to screw with the Trunchbull into thinking that our house is haunted. She's that scared of a picture, you would never see me be that scared of a picture. Oh my god, it's my baby picture! Kill it with fire! Kill it with fire! Matilda manages to get Miss Honey's items back using her telekinesis, but her bow got tangled in the shrubbery, so the Trunchbull knows who broke into her house and stuff. And oh, we come to the chalkboard scene. Here's where I'm gonna get all ranty. Boy, the chalkboard scene! Oh boy, we gotta get into this one. So after the Trunchbull finds Matilda's bow, she's furious, and in order to get out of trouble, Matilda starts using her powers to write Miss Honey's dead father's name on the board to scare the crap out of the Trunchbull, and that works. And then she starts picking up stuff to beat the Trunchbull with, and then she falls on a globe, and stuff happens. And then she gets booed out by the students and thrown toilet paper at. Alright, now, the chalkboard scene has a lot to unpack. So, let's start with the difference between the book and the film, which will express my main problem with the film. So, I have a lot to say about this scene and the film and stuff. Okay, so, Matilda decided to do the chalkboard thing to get out of trouble instantly, or at least in the movie anyway, but in the book she strategized and planned it, and that's what makes the difference between the book and the movie version, and what breaks the movie for me. The Matilda in the book strategizes and is smart, while the Matilda in the film is book smart. And no, book smart does not mean you're smart. But the Matilda in the book actually strategizes and plans things out, showing that she's a real smart character. But the film version really just regurgitates information that she heard in the book. So she's book smart, while the Matilda in the book is not is actually smart. Remember what I said a few seconds ago about the Trunchbull getting booed out and getting toilet paper thrown and runs off because Matilda beat her up using her powers? Well, that's not as accurate. She more used slapstick. Skipping to the last scene of the film, Matilda is visiting Miss Honey's home when her parents rush in, saying that they gotta go to Guatemala because the cops finally found out that they stole car parts. And after some arguing about what Matilda should do, Matilda pulls out adoption papers out of her backpack so Miss Honey can adopt her. After some arguing, the parents agree to let Miss Honey adopt Matilda, and then we have a happy ending and then a happy montage. So now we get to the conclusion and my overall thoughts on the film. My biggest problem with the film is Matilda as a character herself. She's portrayed way differently in the film than she is in the book. In the book, like I said, she's a strategist. She plans. She thinks. But the Matilda in the film is a lot more impulsive. If you want more evidence of her being impulsive, the chalkboard scene and many other scenes I could think of, which I pointed out, but the film is just book smart, while the Matilda in the book is actually smart. And another problem in the movie is how much she uses her powers. She uses her powers so many times and for useless stuff. And look, I get it. It's a film and it's a visual medium and it's not a book, and you gotta show off your special effects somehow. But she uses her powers so much for so little things, it makes her kind of show off and showboaty. As you can tell, I prefer the book, but that doesn't mean that there's not any good things in the film. The casting is pretty good, but I still prefer the book. So I say if you have to check out Matilda, check out the book. But if you just want a film where a child is really smart, I suggest you check out Jimmy Neutron. Anyway, this review is long, so bye-bye.